What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another run here, another special run, backhaul edition on American Truck Simulator. I got hung up there because I was trying to figure out, wait a minute, am I turning left or am I turning right? Yeah, it's been a long day. So, what I've got going on for you guys today is kind of a double whammy. You guys saw me on Monday do my run here from Kayenta to Telluride up the $1 Million Highway. And so now, I'm going to go ahead and go back down. And to add insult to injury, I've got this oil derrick, this oil rig right here, tipping the scales at 143,000 pounds. So this is, and of course we already know, when you go across the scale, it's actually more than that because you got to factor, that's just the rig itself. That's not trailer, truck, all that stuff. So, there's a truck coming too. He better stop because he wasn't there when I started going. This is going to be definitely a challenge. It's going to be a long, slow run getting up the hill. I can tell you that right now with this kind of weight. 600 horsepower, Cummins ISX 15 underneath the hood. 18-speed Eaton Fuller transmission. 3.90 gears. It ain't even gonna like third. Come on, like second, like too low, come on. Alright, we're gonna be finding too low. Okay, here we go. Now, the way up here is not as long as it is when you're going through the curves. I don't know exactly how far the ascent is on this side. Yeah, it was starting not to like too low, so might as well. About one high. Yeah, we're going, okay. So, we'll see how this does here. I'm already stacking people up behind me. Yelled at for this. Might as well pick that up, don't really need it. Take it out of one high. Don't really want to be shifting gears when you're doing something like this. Paint job comes from Klunk, and I picked this up from Coastline Mining. I'm taking it to Coastline Mining, and it didn't dawn on me at the time, but the color and the way this skin looks is almost perfect for the job. Coastline Mining being yellow and black. There you go. Even though it's gold, it still matches, and it's got the black kind of chameleon coat there. You can see it on the roof, and then you see it on the hood. There you go. Really nice looking paint job. I do like this. I wasn't too sure about it when I was looking at it in the Steam Workshop, but now that I've got it here on the truck, I'm glad I picked it. I also added Kentucky Boys Edit, the 579 Edit here. It didn't really add too many options, to be quite honest. Danclark stock exclusive bumper on there. It did add some pipes, I believe. That is official Peterbilt is what it said. But other than that, really, everything you still hear is stock for the Danclark truck. It doesn't look like too many options are going to be able to be ported in with, like, the Edit. Now, I do have the Danclark above the 579 Edit, so if you guys want, you could try putting the 579 Edit from Kentucky Boy above the Danclark and see if that changes anything. But, in my instance here, Danclark above the 579, no difference, no change. I've got a steer axle on there, and I decided to pick it up for this one. Not sure if I'll leave it down on the way down. Steer axles are obviously supposed to help me turn, but when I was leaving the quarry where I picked this up, actually it's just a silo in the middle of town there. When I was leaving, it didn't really help. It actually felt like it was hurting me. So, yep, there's the curve, so that means I'm just a few feet away from the top. Now the fun will begin, and I'll go outside the cab. Oh wow, look at that on the GPS. Wow. Now what I plan to do here is basically slow to a crawl at every corner as I exit, and let the speed and try to keep the speed under control. Now I will have inverters on this truck, or the retarders, so I'll have the engine brake as well as the retarder to play with, and so hopefully that will help keep me under control as I go down the descent. Unlike the 389, and I don't know why it's not in there. Maybe something's not right, I don't know. I haven't asked about that. No one has volunteered any information either, so if I do hear something, I will inform you guys, because I know a lot of you do like to use the Peterbilt 389. I'm leaving this thing pegged at, well, I don't have to now, because we're basically at the top. Slow it down. Wow, the engine brake is really slowing me down. How about I turn that off? No inverter. Okay, so I gotta leave the engine brake in. Yeah, the inverter isn't doing anything for me. Maybe I don't have that programmed. So here we go. I kind of scared. Wow, oops, my bad. Something tells me this isn't really true to life. And I'm sure right about now some of you guys are just saying, just drive off the cliff already. But nope. Didn't have to use a brake on the other one, but I gotta use it on this one. Now I'd like to give these brakes some time to cool off, but since I can't smell them, I don't, I assume they're already hot. And as you can see, the retarder's all the way up. I can't go any higher than that. The engine brake is already up. I can't go any higher. So I'm just stabbing the brakes here and there, trying to bring it back under control. I'm not riding them or anything. Now, I am by no means saying this is how it's done in the real world when they're doing heavy haul through the mountains or anything like that. Just in my experience, when I've been 35,000 pounds in a single or tandem axle truck, I've never hauled anything this massive. You want a little hairy though. It doesn't matter what size truck you've got. Go through to some of the hills in Kentucky when you're not loaded correctly and you're loaded heavy to one side. That will put some hair on your nuts. Just sit back and relax. Try not to fall asleep. This is what the truck wants to do. This is what the truck will do. This would be great where there was a pilot car, because then I wouldn't have to worry about oncoming traffic in the corners. But then again, knowing that this map mod disables cars, you can see that the rear axle there on the trailer go up in the air. Stab that brake. Some of these are such a sharp drop. When they start descending again, you can see the rear axle there on that trailer kind of getting a little loose, a little bit of air underneath it. This one doesn't even level out, just makes the whole corner. Well, looks like we're maybe halfway there. Now, it's also been suggested that I try out what I think is Dragon's Tail. Yeah, well, they're gonna have to freaking wait though, aren't they? It's amazing how fast the time goes. Now, also, it was left a comment about the creator of this map that apparently he lives down in Louisiana, and he had some flooding going on down there. As many of you guys already know, Louisiana was getting a crap load of rain for a while there, dealing with some major flooding issues, and apparently, and I haven't, this is third-hand information, so take it for, you know, like with a grain of salt, or, you know, what you guys want us to think. But according to what it was said in the comment, that his house was also affected from the flooding, so that could be another reason why this pack is kind of just basically half-assed. You know, with that information, one could, you know, it would lead one to think that he had fully intended on working on this, continuing the work and upgrading it and fixing it, cleaning it up. You know, maybe he just threw this out there just to put it out there so he doesn't lose all of his work. I don't know. Who knows? it'll be a beautiful scenic route once all of these landscape issues are taken care of. Almost there. I think I can see people. They don't look like ants anymore. Well, I can tell you what, if I were to do this in the 389, it would be a different story than what it was here with this truck. Oh, now you're gonna get tired too? Screw you. You're finishing this run. There we go. Hit one switch, but not the other one. Have to give it gas, just let it coast down and get the speed I want it. If it wasn't for the need of the engine brake, I probably could have just turned the damn engine off and just coasted all the way down, but then again, steering would have been a pain in the ass. But now it's just left to the long, simple drive all the way into Kayenta. Yeah, I might have to try that with the 389. Would definitely be interesting without the retarder. If I just had the engine brake going, which doesn't seem to do much in the first place, I'd probably be riding brakes all the way down. Traffic again. I've also been told of some people having issues getting the I-10 to work, and some have speculated that it might be their 389. I really can't attest to, you know, what is wrong, what, everyone's gonna have different mods, and for the most part, guys, you know, if anyone is out there having issues, it's just really gonna come down to trial and error for you guys. What's going to work, what's not going to work. Now keep in mind, you do need to have, with this Interstate 10 map mod pack, you must have coast to coast. Now, I don't know if the Mex US CAN is going to affect it at all. I don't know if MHA Pro is going to affect any of it all. So, you know, keep that in mind, guys. You at least have to have 1.8 coast to coast. If you don't, I can't guarantee this is going to work. Now, I haven't driven anywhere else except for these two locations. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to leave all of this in. I might, and I stress this, I might leave coast to coast in. We'll see. We'll see what I decide to do. I'm not sure yet. I'm not a big fan of coast to coast, but I'm getting to be in the same position a lot of you guys are. You're kind of starting to get bored and tired of the same scenery that we have with the stock map. So in MHA Pro helps change all of that, you know, makes it different, but you know, it's still at the end of the day the same stock SCS map. Don't you go, you son of a bitch. I will flatten you. At least you know where the gas pedal is. Good job. That sign doesn't look like it. That sign was awfully close. Alright, railroad tracks, and of course the lights are going. At least they're going now and not as I'm getting right up to it. I made it in one piece. No falling off the cliff here, guys. But that is going to pretty much wrap this up. Made it from Telluride back to Kayenta in one piece, up and down on the $1 million highway. With two different trucks. This will be interesting. looks like I'm just going straight in with it, so that's a good thing. Oh, dozing. Shut up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Tired is tired. At least I'm here at my stop and not on the road when it's doing that. Alright, so that is going to do it, guys. Time for my driver to get some shut-eye. Time for me to get some shut-eye. And call it a day on this run here for backhaul and the $1 Million Highway. So, appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. I will see you later on tonight for the normal live stream. Wednesday night live stream, obviously. 7 o'clock Central. See you guys tonight. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.